Hi guys, this is my Peperomia Frost, and I did get her yesterday, but you know, life happens and I was a little bit busy, so I wasn't able to record her. As soon as she came home with me, I transplanted her. I didn't water her yesterday. I watered her just like a few minutes ago, and the reason that I did that was because when I tried to put her a smudge to bare root, she was incredibly saturated, so I wanted her to dry out a little bit. And everything that I am using will be in the description section. The soil, what I use to water her with, will be in the description section, as including my social media account. So if you want to try and connect there, it's all in there. I hope you enjoy the rest of my vlog. You're going to hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. This is the first time ever I've seen this plant in person. I always like see just the pictures for sale because I've started to really appreciate peperomias. So if I did see this in person before, I never really appreciated it. Never really took more than, I don't know, just less than a second glance. You can't really tell very much, but I'm going to show in the video as much as I can. She's very, very beautiful. She has like a shimmer to her. She reminds me of like a really good silver shimmery eyeshadow, like a really good brand. Not like a drugstore brand, a department store brand, or a luxury brand, because that's where the glitter or the shimmer is actually more faint and more in a shimmery way than big chunky glitter. So it reminds me of that. Like, let's try and move the leaf just a little bit so you guys can probably see. Okay, maybe not, I don't know. So she came in a 6-inch pot. When I did take her out, the root system wasn't very heavy, and she was still wrapped into something that they started with, like a 1-inch grower, one of those supposedly biodegradable, you know, seed starter things. And it was still totally intact. So I tried to get it out because the roots were kind of tangled in there. And because I did that, some of the root system really did fall apart. Also though, a lot of times, it's not, I mean, the more that you do it, like me, the more that you do it, the easier it becomes and the less damage that you do. But when you transplant, there's always going to be some kind of problem. Sometimes, I mean, you have to consider, like, in nature, they never get transplanted. So there's always going to be some kind of issue, but as much as possible, you want to try to minimize that. So I did. So here she is. And there were a ton of leaves that were damaged, and this was the one that was least damaged because there were, I think, a total of like 6 plants available when I got this. And this was the one that was least damaged when I transplanted like this. This already came with it. I took off as much of the damaged part. I would say like 1/8 of it was damaged, but this was the best looking one. And to be quite honest, like, pictures don't do this plant justice. It's very, very beautiful. I actually initially planned on putting this on a windowless section because it said it can actually survive and be okay in a north or windowless section. When I checked on her today, this were a little bit droopy. So, like, look at that. It's really lifeless. Like, so I decided to move her, I would say about 4 feet away from an east-facing window. I'm mistaken. It's not 4 feet. It's about 3 feet away from, like, a little bit over 3 feet away from an east-facing window. So hopefully she can do a little bit better there. And obviously, on the next time I'm going to update this particular plant, we'll try and see if she is thriving there or not and what's going to happen. So what I plan to do is wait until the top inch of the soil is dry. That's my initial plan. Peperomias prefer to be on the drier side than on the moist side, so be very careful with that. A lot of people do kill peperomias due to the fact that they are overwatering. What I've noticed is from the few peperomias I have in my collection now is they can really take less watering, and they're fine. So they're really, really great with that. They're definitely not like certain plants like a syngonium where they would just crisp up. So here she is. And just look at how beautiful the leaf is. It's just so shimmery. It's so beautiful. I'm totally in love now. Like, I remember I was just looking at pictures of Peperomia frost and I'm like, blah, so boring. But then when I see them in person and they're so shimmery and just so beautiful, I love it. I love the shimmer and I love how she looks. And that was another reason why I moved her from a no window. That section gets only LED plant light all day long. That's it. And doesn't get natural light at all. Only in like the summer months, maybe like an hour of north facing, but that's about close to 20 feet away. So barely any light. And I want her to keep her frost. Rule of thumb, even low light plants, if you want them to do well and keep their pattern or the coloring, even low light plants, the greener, the more that they can survive and be okay there. If there's going to be higher variegation or different kind of patterns or colors that's not green, those parts cannot really absorb a ton of light. So the greener it is, the better that they can do well in a very low lit area. Because this one is more of a shimmery color, I was kind of worried that she will lose that shimmer and just become more greener. That's why, another reason why I moved her on an east, like closer to an east facing window. So here she is. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. I highly appreciate it. And so far, I would say if you really want a time frame, I would say I'm going to check her between 7 to 14 days to see, and depending on the year, to see how often I need to water her. Another rule that I go with is spring and fall, less watering, less volume and frequency, versus winter and summer. I do have centralized heat and air in my entire house, so that can be a variable to that equation, just so you know. Here she is. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.